a silly little animation with these grasshoppers going across here at 24 frames per second. If you want to change your timeline frame rate, you can do that here. And if I go to export this, I'm going to go to File, Export, and then Render Video. And it might take a little time to open up that next window. And as it does that, let's see, you could look on your desktop if you wish. Well, let's see, I'll look here and select my folder. And I'll see that I actually already have all my frames rendered that I did before. I did 49, and I did it with the Photoshop image sequence. So just so you know, it usually opens, the default is this media encoder, but if you change that to image sequence, you can choose a PNG, which is what you want to do. So don't do a JPEG because that, in theory, is not going to have an alpha channel. The other thing you want to do is make sure that you have the alpha channel turned on here now that you have a PNG. And you can do straight unmatted. That'll probably work well. I did the work area because that's what I want. It's 0 through 49, and you can select your folder. So that's how you export with, and this is the document size. You could change that if you wish. I'm going to cancel because I already have those. So you can see here, there's my flag. I already have my frames. And so I can open up After Effects and bring those in. But in a minute here, I'm going to show you how to export something from Maya. All right, so here in Maya, I have this flag, and you can play it, and it's kind of just flopping around. I have two lights here. Just so you know, they're area lights because you don't want to have a Skydome light, otherwise it'll block your alpha channel, which is everything that's not an object, not a light. Remember with area lights, you can turn off normalize because then, here, I'll just show you. You see here, I have lights on in the scene. If I turn on normalize and then rerun the render, you see that it really kind of reduces the amount of light. So it's up to you how you do that. And turn off normalize, and you see you get more light. So that's up to you. But just remember that you don't want a Skydome light. And with an NCloth, you usually want it to run a little bit before you render it out. So here in my render settings, I have the name of it. I'm going to use a TIFF because for some reason I'm not able to get the PNG to work. It might have something to do with these settings. But anyway, so remember name.number.extension. I'm going to do 26 through, you could do whatever you want there. I'm just going to do 720, not too big. And then you can change to rendering and go to rendering and do your render sequence. I already have mine done though, so let's just close here. I don't need to save that. But if I look here in my flag folder, I have my flags. And then in After Effects, I admit that this is really not the most attractive animation. But you can bring in your frames with if you press Command I, and then you look for your frames. Mine are on my desktop, and if I look in the grasshopper, so you can select the very first one. In that case, it's that one there, and it'll bring it in. I already have mine brought in here, so you can see there's my stack of images. I'll just make this a little bigger, and you can see that it's a TIFF sequence, and then I have my PNG sequence there, and I made a composition out of those. And the grasshoppers on top, and then there's just some video footage behind it all. Again, I know this looks terrible. Bad color choices here. Yeah, we'll go over this in class, but I hope that helps. Thanks, bye-bye.